Welcome back to Two Shit Blokes with Jason and Dave, proudly recorded at the Hills Podcast Studio inside the beautiful Bella Vista Hotel. Thank you for having us. Send this to your mates, your enemies. We're not really picky. We just want to get the message out there of all things great in the world of NRL, NFL, horse racing, and the great game that it is. Follow us on Spotify so you know when the next episode is up and running. Tone disclaimer, there is no editing. It's raw and harsh, but we just don't care. Or maybe the producer doesn't know what he's doing. Either way, here we are, ready to rock and roll. Enjoy. All right, we're going into listener feedback, which is everyone's favourite sledge of both Dave and I. So we'll go with our good friend Dan Ox, who started following us as well this week through social media. So thanks for the follow, Dan. Hey, pals. Yes, I'm aware Packers thought they were playing for the West Tigers. Just a bunch of losers. Beautiful comeback from the Eagles. Never in doubt, if you ask me. Talk about moving up in the world. The new Insta now, everyone can see the other four people that follow this body. I'll get into the Instagram. Actually, I'll say it now. We did create a Two Shit Blokes Instagram page. So we're going to put all our tips, the wins and the losses on there, and some clips from the show, etc. So if you are on Spotify, if you're listening to us, do a follow of Two Shit Blokes on Instagram. So that's where we are. Continue on. So credit when credit is what is it? Credit when credit it is due, though. Thank you for the tips. Yeah, it's been quite a long 8 weeks now. I can finally pay my Spotify sub. As always, hate you guys. Here is a winning multi. Penn State, Green Bay, Ravens, Chargers. Do we know what that's paying?
No, he doesn't put that because he puts it in so early.
Because Penn State is, who are they playing? I didn't even look.
Nobody.
They'll be like $1.
Agreed. So it's not.
Dan, be better, mate. Come on. He mentioned the Eagles' comeback. They were down 26-6 or something at the half, and then came back and won 33-26 on a blocked field goal. It was a great comeback actually. So they did really well.
Run, fat boy, run.
So he did big Davis, mate. Imagine that guy. If you watch the footage of Davis doing the blocked field goal and pick it up and running, there is a guy running next to him. That's a cornerback, so a smaller guy. It looks like there's a midget chasing him. He's such a huge man. It's actually quite comical. Go and look it up, people.
Looks like a 5-year-old chasing a grown man.
It's so funny. All right, moving on to Jez. I was surprised Jez has written in, because I haven't even read this comment, but after last week, what did you say, Dave? You want to repeat it for our listeners?
I just said it's like punching a retard. That's all.
Can't believe you repeated it.
I don't care.
Jez says, hey, lovers, just picking myself up from being brutally bashed while minding my own business, licking windows, assholes. Another great show, for fuck's sake, Dave. Figure out people's names. You were even calling the talent your son's name at one stage.
It's early onset, mate. Leave me alone.
The early onset dementia kicking in already. You lads are killing it. Sounds better each week. For fuck's sake, there I go again. You two are an absolute lowest blokes I know. Go get fucked.
This thing's angry.
He does. I wonder why. Oh, he's just been punished.
I did clean him up. But he's punch drunk. He keeps coming back.
He
does.
Balls,
so
I know.
What are you going to do?
Oh, God love him. Next comment from Z-grade netballer. This is obviously the future daughter-in-law who got upset that we called her a Z-grade netball.
Seems upset, doesn't she?
Low-grade netball, high-grade fan base. Somehow more people came to watch me play Z-grade netball than follow the new Insta.
Jeez, they're having a crack, aren't they?
They are into us. I heard Karma got Jason this week. Let me know if you need to borrow my crutches. I don't need them for my scratch. Karma did get me. I did tease her for injuring herself, and this week I've been on crutches because I have a small injury on my ankle, and it's laid me up. But here I am. I've rubbed some dirt on it, and I'm still here. So I think that's the difference between us.
Yeah, I think it's nice that you pulled yourself out of ICU this week.
Yeah.
To come to the show.
Well, I think it shows that I'm just far tougher than what she is.
Agreed.
The next comment is he's back actually, from a comment after the first show. Our good friend Mo Lester. Hey lads, due to high demand, Mo Lester is back. I don't know if there was any demand, let alone high demand. But anyway.
Not for molesters, no.
Friday fill up, lads, again. That dartboard Jason mentioned last week must be massive because I can't seem to miss it. And somehow Jason, Dave both found a way to finally hit the target. But if I hear Jason carry on about odds under $2 again, only to then tip multis pack with the same gauge, wake up, Jace. It's the exact same thing, just with less chance of winning. No Friday fill this week, not tipping for the sake of it like you mugs. So he did give us some tips. One of them paid $6.50 and won last week.
Yeah, the Grange.
The Friday one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's good that it won, but the thing with him, and this is where we all differ, it wins and then you are bombarded with like voice memo text messages about how a great punter he is over and over. And hours later, he just needs to be on show. Like, can't he just say, yeah, it won, well done? Is he that starved of attention? Was he that starved of his attention as a child?
Yes, he was. Yes.
Well, that explains a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was. And he, to be honest, on Friday night, he was as full as a state school.
Oh, did you get the one straight after it won?
Yeah, then the one after that.
Yeah, and the one after that. I think I got about 4.
Yeah, he's full as a state school. He was up at the Newcastle Cup.
So he had a win, and then he just bombarded us with text messages.
Apparently, he sent the bookie broke. Didn't come back the next day.
Oh, please.
Clean out.
Yeah, with his $10 each way. All right. There's Jez with another comment. Great to have you back, Mo Lester. The podcast is better with your involvement. At least winning small odds is better than not winning at all. Trust me, I should know. Yeah, Jez could not pick a thing. He is the worst punter.
Well, what's Jez doing blowing Josh? I want to know what's going on
there. Jez is nice. He's nice to everyone.
Yeah, okay.
And then we got the last one, which is Dave's alter ego, White Ant. I've heard from a very reliable source that the only reason Dave supports the Sharks is because their team song, consisting basically of 3 words, is all that he could remember. Yeah, but up Cronulla. That's basically all they say.
That's all I know, mate.
That's all you need to know. At least they can remember their song. The Tigers can't even remember their song half the time because they don't win that often.
Do not.
All right, the comment of the week. I don't know where to go with this one. Jez has thrown in 2. I think we give it to Jez because he keeps coming back.
I disagree.
Of course you do. What do you got?
Nah, none of them.
None? None get anything?
Maybe Z grade for backing up.
Yeah, I did like the sled she threw in there about how there were more people at her game than followers us on Instagram.
Yeah, she did well.
She did well. Saw her today. She's very dear. All right.
Don't be nice to her.
Oh, you have to be. She's just too nice. All right. Reminder, keep the feedback coming, people. The good, bad, or borderline defamatory. We'll read them all again next week. Okay, let's get into some NRL news and some talking point. Dave, what do we got?
You can choose what you like from that list.
Mate, the Victor Radley suspension, I found
ridiculous.
Yeah, I find it ridiculous. The amount of people that are involved in what he's doing, and I know I don't like to condone drug use or whatever, but he's just a scapegoat. Like, they're not even addressing the bigger issue that he was buying for clearly for other people just due to the amount, and that he cops a suspension. He was up there with half of the Roosters team on a golf weekend, and they just kind of gloss over that guy. He brought the game into disrepute. Oh, yeah, we'll give him a 10-week suspension.
Do you think there was a deal done with them to save face? So we'll go, Victor, we'll suspend you, right?
Yeah.
And then we'll fix you up later, so you make it look like we're holding our standards.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was the Roosters, no. I think that it's a good point. I don't like to say that about you, but yeah, look, with the Roosters, because they said, we're going to sack him. And I'm like, well, then sack him. But next thing you know, he just gets a massive fine. It is a big out for them, though, because he does have a lot of their attack, and he's a good defender, but a lot of the stuff, he's like an Isaiah Yeo for them. So it's a big loss and a big commitment for them to stand him down for almost half a season.
Yeah, I just don't believe it.
Oh, and I think it's ridiculous anyway. But anyway, so he's got a suspension. Friday, Sunday finals. Why is the NRL changing the schedule after the AFL?
I don't agree with it. It should be Saturday night and Sunday.
For the finals coming up this week?
Yeah, 100%.
I don't have an issue with it. Why be phased by it? Let the AFL have their thing on Saturday. More people will watch it on Friday.
But it's delusional to think that AFL people are going to watch.
It's not delusional to think it. Like, you're basically going up against a juggernaut that you'll never beat in Melbourne. So why not say...
that's a daytime final. They're all full half cut. Nothing to watch after the AFL Grand Final. Straight into the Storm Sharks. Why wouldn't you do that?
I just think Friday gives it its own standalone game. They're not competing with the AFL.
I just don't think a professional sport should change its programming just because another sport's got something on the same weekend.
So I disagree. I think a professional sport should be able to flow and change if it needs to change and adapt. Okay, so we've had a few technical issues, and it's been a hell of an afternoon, but we'll keep going. So the NRL, what are your thoughts on it? Should it be a arvo game or a night game?
I really like the idea of an arvo game. I like it for kids to start off with. I like it for barbecues and dinners and stuff like that. You're not getting home at 11 o'clock at night. It stops people getting too hammered too quickly. I just think it's great for families to get together and do barbecues and friends and family, et cetera, et cetera. So
I look at it from a different point of view, that after watching the standard of football in terms of attack in a daytime game, and I don't have any stats to back this up, but I just look at the Canberra-Brisbane game, an afternoon football. It was high quality. The sun was shining. It was a beautiful day. The quality of the football was outstanding. So I think the daytime football brings a far better quality football match than rather than a night game.
That as well. I agree with that.
So
100%.
I agree with what you're saying about families and kids and stuff, because, you look at Origin doesn't kick off till like 8:15 now on a Wednesday. So I agree that I'd like to see the grand final kick off at the old school time of 3 p.m.
I like the fact it's on a long weekend. I think that's great timing.
Yeah, it is. And that's probably why they think they can do a night game, because no one's going to work Monday.
Yeah, and still, if you're 7 or 8 and it's not finishing until 10 o'clock, I just think they should change it.
Yeah, but I just agreed with you. Why are you going back on it?
You agreed. I know. I'm just saying.
All right, okay.
Geez, we're angry today.
No, one of us is angry.
Yeah, we are.
One of us is fine, but I'm getting angry with you because you keep stuffing up.
Proceed.
The last one, and we did mention it a few times, that Marky Mark may leave for rugby union, and he's finally announced that he's going to leave in 2027 and go to rugby union. But he's only going to do it for the World Cup and then come back to league.
Yeah, I'm of the opinion that he came from rugby, and if he's out of contract, he can do whatever he likes.
I agree. And I wish him nothing but the best. I used to have a mentality that if they leave good, they should never be allowed back. But now I just think that, you know what, go and make your money, do what you need to do.
I don't know if this has got anything about money. I think he just wants to go to a Rugby World Cup.
He wants to go to a Rugby World Cup, but in the process too, if it wasn't about money...
I don't think he's going there for free. But
no, but if it wasn't about money, he'd be staying here to play in the Super Comp. But he's not. He's going to French rugby or Japanese rugby.
Right.
That's about money. And then he wants to go to the World Cup. So, because now the rule is, if you go overseas and play for a club in any comp, you are eligible still for the Wallabies.
Right. Well, because they've got no players.
They've got no players. So they're picking players from all over the world now. So, yeah, I wish him the best, and I can't wait for him to come back, and I'll look forward to watching him.
As long as he comes back, then. But he's not leaving halfway through a contract to go. He's planned this a long way out.
Yeah, he said, I'm going to be here for next year, and then in 2027 I'm going.
And I think the Roosters would have known that.
Yeah, I don't think the Roosters are holding too much of a grudge.
Absolutely. Let's go.
All right, so let's look at the round. We had 2 games, one on Friday night, was it Friday?
Saturday, wasn't it?
Both were Saturday, Sunday.
Saturday, Sunday, yep.
Yeah, so we had
this week's Friday, Sunday, so it doesn't make any sense to me. Anyway.
We've just gone over that, man. We don't need to rehash it.
I'm just angry.
You are angry. All right, so we start off on Saturday night, the Raiders 12 against the Sharks 32.
Up, Cronulla, baby.
I'll let you go. Just have your bit. Go.
No, I'm not a bragger. I'm very happy with... You're not
like your son?
No, you're not going to get a 30-minute voice message from me. But if you look at the stats in this game, both teams had 78% completion rate. Line breaks 5-4 in front of the Sharks. Raiders had 14-4 offload advantage. Sharks had 11 errors to the Raiders 9. The penalties, ruck infringements were 19 to the Sharks, 15 to the Raiders, right? So it's pretty close across the board.
Yep.
And they got beat 32-12.
Yeah.
When there was a segment in that game where the Raiders had us on our try line and we took us 5 tackles to run 15 metres, right? And we made a few mistakes early in the game, which irritated me like they always do. But they came out of nowhere, and their defence, they defended their mistakes. Their defence was unbelievable. Their attack, when they actually got into a position to score tries, was outstanding. Tricky Trindle, for instance, right? I don't rate the bloke and have bagged him mercilessly here in this podcast, him and Hines. He was fantastic. They were wrapping Hines on the weekend. Mate, Tricky Trindle was outstanding.
They work well together. Yeah.
I thought the loss of Ethan Strange was massive, and I also believe that the hangover from the Broncos game, I think they just didn't look like the same team that was in the first half against the Broncos. So, pretty impressive from the Sharks, and the fact that they're making mistakes and defending them. That's you can't ask for any more than that. So,
yeah, I agree with it. I won't get carried away in the sense that they defended their mistakes against a team that threw nothing at them.
Agreed.
And that is simply because Ethan Strange was not there, and he's such a big part of their team. And Jamal Fogarty was absolutely atrocious. And I say that respectfully, and I know it's hard to say respectfully and atrocious.
Well, the 5'8" was poor as well.
It was poor. He had a couple of good stints in the second. Yeah,
Sammy?
Never played 5'8" ever in first grade.
Yeah.
I think in grade, I think they said. But Jamal Fogarty especially was very poor, extremely poor. So I think when he's leading their attack, which absolutely was atrocious, it had nothing. It offered nothing. Their centres were poor with Timiko making some terrible decisions, bad mistakes. The only player that showed any positivity for them was, or only two, was Joe Tapine and Starling. They were very good for them.
Both. Hudson Young was poor.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So without Strange there, they just offered nothing because he brings Kalo Weeks into the game. Kalo Weeks couldn't do anything because he's running off a poor halfback and a poor 5'8", so he couldn't get into the game. Their forwards were tired because they just had a massive week the week before, getting absolutely punched and belted for 100 minutes. So the hangover was there. The thing with the Sharks which was impressive, that they made them pay for their mistakes, and I think that's important because we keep saying you can only beat who's in front of you.
Agreed.
And that's what they did, and they beat them comprehensively. The thing, though, with Billy Burns scoring a try, he ran through some atrocious defence from Jamal Fogarty and Hosking. I don't know if they're going to get that on Friday night.
No, but I think they're in a... Like as I said to you last week, I thought I was more worried about beating the Raiders than I am about beating the Storm.
Yeah, but beating the Raiders is different when you're saying beating a full-strength Raiders. They can't underestimate how tired Canberra were.
And how Ethan Strange not being there was a massive...
It was massive, mate.
When they go to their left and Ethan's there, he's a big threat.
And they have to worry about that threat. It brings in the fullback. It brings in your centres. Mate, without him there, and to have someone who's untrained... They found out the day of the game, by all accounts. And I can't understate... There are two parts of this. I can't understate how bad Fogarty was. And if Manly now must have a bit of concern because he did not show anything in attack. He's got a very good kicking game, but in attack, some of his passes were wildly off the mark.
Yeah.
He just had nothing. He did not threaten Cronulla at all. And I think that's concerning, obviously, for Manly next year because he's going to have to do it all because Luke Brooks can't. But I just...
Well, that you're right. What you're saying is right, is that with a relatively naive 5'8" next to him, he was atrocious. Brooks isn't a great 5'8", so are they both going to trade crappiness off each other? I don't know.
Mate, I think it's something they should be concerned about because Luke Brooks finished the season poorly he's definitely losing that speed he has. And Jamal Fogarty showed that he's got a very good kicking game and he can kick teams to death if he has the support around him. Whether he has that support next year, I don't know. I was just really disappointed with him. I thought you can't praise Talakai enough. The way he played when he came on the field.
Oh, he changed the tempo massively.
He's an exceptional bench player. I thought Hines was excellent, and I'm probably so happy to see that.
Yeah.
Because he cops it more than anyone, and it's not fair. Because he was exceptional. I loved watching it because he just does seem like the nicest guy on the planet. And to see someone like that have success when they've always been bagged out, can't win the big games, and now he's done it twice.
Yep.
I was rapt to see.
Mate, I'm proud of him as a supporter, and I'm a tough marker.
Oh
right?
yeah, you're a prick. Yeah, you
100%.
go nuts on them.
It's just nice to see them play with a bit of, resilience and to be able to get themselves out of a hole. Like they were behind the 8 ball at the start of that game.
They were terrible.
And they were the same against the Roosters. They were behind.
And that's a concern because if they do that against the Storm, the Storm are known for coming out in that first half. They could put 20 on them. And then they've got to come back. And I don't think they got that in them.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But, we'll talk about that later.
And Brayley. Brayley was great.
Has he signed?
I think he's waiting to see what offers he... No, I don't know. I was making shit up. No, I don't. He's not going anywhere.
Yeah, I heard he had signed, and then I'm not sure. I haven't seen anything like.
No, I don't know if he signed, but he's not going anywhere. He's a captain of your club. He will not go anywhere. He was absolutely brilliant. And
what do you think he's worth? $1,900,000?
I'd probably go 8 with incentives. Look at us talk. I'd say 8 with incentive because I think that. Yes, he is great.
Yeah, I think give him an opportunity to earn $1 million.
Yeah, and say if you make Origin, if you do this, wins, etc., etc. Like the guy,
I don't care about him making Origin, just making meters and
making
tackles,
making
all that
tackles.
sort of stuff.
Yeah.
He runs from dummy half, all that sort of stuff.
Because he was absolutely brilliant, and he has been for weeks. I think that he's your future, and you can build a really good team around people like him. It was fantastic to see. There is an issue that I find being married, right, when you're watching the footy.
Right.
Why does your wife wait until the second half of a major semi-final to want to talk about the big issues in life? Like, do you know when they come up to you and you're watching the footy and they go, look, I've been thinking, and you know that this conversation won't end well. I just don't understand it. Like, we just missed half time. Like, couldn't you say... in half time, I've been thinking. And then they just talk, and you're not listening, and you have to pretend you are.
Jason, do you think this podcast is marriage counselling?
I'm just venting, mate.
Oh, that's okay, all right.
I'm venting because it's finals time. And they want to talk about this stuff, and I don't think they should.
Okay. Well, so what we're saying is that for all the wives out there, just bottle up your rage until the end of the season?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
I think so. I think that'll do.
All right. You heard it here first, ladies.
Yeah, ladies, just be mindful. Thank you.
Yep.
And I think that's it for that game.
Do you want to go through your life problems or?
No. I think I'm comfortable with that. It just was the thing. Like she comes up and she goes, "I've been thinking," and any conversation.
Nothing good comes from that conversation.
It just means that you have when they say I've been thinking, it means that you have a problem. Yeah. As in, like, the person she's talking to.
Words never said by a man.
Yeah.
I've been thinking.
No guy says that. We don't think.
Not during the football, anyway.
No. But, I've been thinking. It means that, one, either the next day I'm going to have 1,000 things to do, or 2, I've done something wrong.
Yeah. It's usually 2.
It's usually 2. Yeah. And she's usually right. But just tell me after the game.
Okay. We'll put it in the highlights reel.
It's just something there to be mindful of.
Yes.
All right.
Appreciate your candid, Jace.
Let's move on to the Sunday game.
Oh, okay. I'm going to get a phone call from him.
The Sunday game was the Dogs 26, Panthers 46.
I loved it.
I think everyone that hates the Dogs loved it.
Look at this peanut here. I've written in my notes it was 46 all, so there you go. So we would have loved that result.
You know what's great? No, in the notes.
No, in my notes, not your run sheet.
Mate, you're a fucking mess. All right,
not having a good day.
No, you're not.
So,
yeah, 26-46.
Dogs were a disgrace. The Dogs missed 42 tackles in the first half to the Panthers 11. 42. They did fix it by the end of the game. They only missed 8 tackles in the second half.
Yeah, but why did they miss it?
Because Penrith are in the dressing room.
Yeah, and also Klein evens up the game and gives the Dogs like 65% of the ball in that second half.
Yeah.
So they didn't have to tackle as much. That's why, because the game was over at the half, and then Klein goes, "Oh, geez, some of the stuff the Dogs got away with in the second half. Some of the forward passes and some of the penalties that will be given. You go, mate, this is a joke," and it was an obvious square up.
He's the best referee in the game, mate.
Please, yeah. Sorry, keep going.
I thought the Dogs' spine looked lost. At one stage there, I've got this written down. Sexton was playing halfback, then Galvin, then Mann, then Burton was come in to play halfback. Like, they were a mess in the middle.
Yep.
They brought in Reid Marnie was there, and I thought he was doing a pretty reasonable job. Service out of dummy half was really good. Then they brought
Bailey
Haywood on the field, and mate, his service out of dummy half was disgraceful.
It is dreadful, isn't it?
Absolutely dreadful. The only bright side for them was the little short ball to Preston. Right, that was all they had. Blaze needs to, because I'm telling you now, the Broncos will be running that shape at them all day on Sunday, and McLean needs to help him out a little bit, or maybe they stick a back rower out there that's fairly good with the tackling, because that's an issue for the Panthers, their left-hand edge.
Blaze missed 10 tackles.
Yeah, we talked about that last week. He's got a slight frame on him.
Yeah, I know, but so do other people.
Well, yeah, Preston Campbell's got he's a good tackler. So.
He was, mate. Yeah, it's concerning for them, because you're right. They targeted him, and he didn't measure up sometimes. So, great player, will be a great player, but yeah, he's got some issues there.
How do you think the generational talent went?
Poor. One thing he showed was he's a 5'8". One thing, again, that I thought his kicking was terrible. He had a few out the full, definitely one out the full. His passing game was way off. He did some terrible hospital balls that ended up in errors.
One over the sideline he threw.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Yeah, there was that one, and there was another one where he threw it, and the guy was never in a position to catch it. It was knocked on. I believe when you put someone like that in a team when you are who is not a noted defender and has defensive deficiencies, the other players around you have to respond and work harder. The Dogs were an exceptional defensive team throughout early in the season. They call the old Dogs of War. They were good.
Yeah.
Very good.
I agree.
They brought him in, and it started when he was at the Tigers. If you watch the South Sydney game, they worked him out. I mean, Kulamattangi just made him a doormat. And then he went to the Dogs, and it's continued on that teams now just run at him constantly. And I think because the Dogs are mindful that he's not a strong defender, it puts more pressure on the players on his left and his right. And I think that's why you're getting so many missed tackles.
Yeah.
Because they have to then realise.
So is Sexton good defensively?
No, I don't think he is either. I just don't think. I think that they just lost their. I think they just lost their identity.
This show for me is going to be very dog heavy, because we've got a dressing down of them, where what went wrong, all that sort of stuff.
Then talk about the game,
But and I was also of my rant of the week is Gus Gould. So
mine's very similar. But Reid Marnie was crying when he was asked about the Dogs after the game and what it means to him.
Yeah.
He loved that club. The players liked Reid Marnie, and they treated him like shit. You can't tell me that doesn't have an impact on your team. You can't treat a player like that.
Last week.
That's what I'm saying. And then you throw him in first grade again, and I thought he played reasonably. The game was over. I mean, Jaden Salmon missed 9 tackles. 9 tackles in the first half.
Yeah.
Like Toby Sexton was missing. They all falling off one after the other. And Salmon has been there 5'8" most of the year, and Reid Marnie can't even get a starting spot. The guy makes 50 tackles in his sleep.
Yeah.
So
But the thing with Reed is they asked him to cut the crap out.
And he did.
Right? And he got rid of it, and then they bun him anyway.
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't say much for the team morale when you're punting players that are doing what you're asking them to do.
That's exactly right. And I just find it strange that what they went about doing, and we'll talk about it maybe a bit later, but, Paul Alamotti scored, all
He
his
was
tries.
outstanding.
He played for the Dogs and they moved him on so they could bring in Crichton and they could bring in Burton and all these players, and they got rid of him. And he went to Penrith as a bit of a bench player, and he's just made a go of it. Like, he's the kind of guy you want in your team. Like, he's a solid first-grade footballer. But it's like the Dogs just want all these flash players.
Yeah.
And, I think they're a mess. What they did on Sunday showed a team that had no confidence. They didn't want to tackle. They didn't know what to do with the ball. They had no clear structure. And the concerning thing is that Cameron Ciraldo's asked about it. And he says, I wouldn't change a thing.
Yeah.
Now
we'll get to that too. That's in my Phil Gould Award this week. It's Cameron Ciraldo.
Well, that's arrogance and stupidity.
Yeah, mate, absolutely.
But I thought Penrith was absolutely brilliant. And
65 minutes before they made their first mistake.
Yes, that is great. But defence allows you to play like that.
Yeah.
You got no defensive
pressure. And their tries were outstanding.
Yeah. But they got no defensive pressure on you, so you're not going to drop the ball.
No.
You just go through the motions. Their hands were brilliant. Some of those tries, as you said, spreading the ball, but they were outstanding.
Oh, great training run for the Panthers.
Yeah.
Prior to, a big game against
it's going to be a great
the Broncos.
Game.
I think that's the grand final.
Yeah, I can't wait till Sunday.
Yeah, the winner of that win the comp.
Yeah.
My opinion.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think any team can win on their day at the moment. I really do. I said it last week. Any team, like it was Penrith and the Sharks outside the top four, I think either of them can win. I think Storm could win on their day. And I obviously think Brisbane can win on their day. It just depends who turns up.
Yeah, I'm excited as a Sharks supporter, but I want to hold my water before I go off. They have to actually blow the whistle at full time in the grand final, and the Sharks win it for me to go. The Sharks can win the comp, so...
Yeah, I think the Sharks still have that ability to fold.
Chicken bolt.
Yeah,
chicken
fold.
bone.
They just fold when pressure's on.
They do. So my Jaden Campbell award for this week went to Nathan Cleary.
Yeah.
He was outstanding. My Ray Stone award went to the Sharks defence, and the Phil Gould award for the flop of the week goes to Cameron Ciraldo with his ridiculous comments that you mentioned about him saying I wouldn't change a thing.
Yeah. My Jaden Campbell went to Nico.
That's fair.
And just, again, I think there's just a soft spot for him. I think it's great that he's having the run he's having.
From what Em tells me, it's pretty soft.
I don't get it. Just do better. The Ray Stone Award, I actually gave it to Tom Starling. I just thought, I know he knocked out Hazelton with a headbutt, but some of his other defence was actually
he was good.
And he's only a little fella, so it's good to see someone who's a bit tiny just giving it a good shot. And my Phil Gould Award actually gave to Brent Reid. Again, he's just another guy in denial about what the Dogs did and when they got Galvin and how it impacted the club.
He's up Gould's ass, so and Moses, what do you expect?
And Moses as well. They just don't speak out against them. And it's like, well, I hate that. I hate that lack of integrity. Like, you got a job to do. Don't take sides on it. Just do your job. And he just says it like, it's fine, it's great. It's like, no.
Well, they didn't improve from last year.
They didn't. They went out in the first game last year against Manly.
Yeah.
And then they went out in stretches. They haven't won a finals game in 3 games.
No. So they haven't improved at all.
No, they haven't. And the only thing that's improved are their players. They've got better players there, but they're just not improving.
Yeah, and we'll get to it in the next bit. So.
Sorry, we just keep going over it. It frustrates
Well, it makes me happy because you're watching Blokes fail and then won't recognise it. You're just going, well, it's on you, mate.
Yeah, it is. It is. All right, let's go. This week's games, we've got Friday night, Sharks and the Storm in sunny Melbourne.
Amy Park. What is it, 8:05 this one's on. My thoughts on this game is that I've got no idea because the Storm haven't been great.
No.
The Sharks are in pretty good form.
Great form.
The Sharks put a hole in the Dogs when they played them 3 weeks ago.
The Sharks' last 3 weeks have been outstanding.
Yeah.
So they are the form team, and you want to have form going into the finals.
But what I'm saying is that the Storm struggled against the Dogs
Yep.
a week ago. They've had a week off, and obviously they're getting Hughes back, which I think is a bit of a risk.
Massive risk.
I don't think his shoulder is back to where it should be.
Well, it's his arm. He broke his arm.
Pappenhausen, yeah, but his shoulder was gone the week before that, and they rushed him back in. I'm not overly I haven't been impressed with Pappenhausen leading up to he got injured or knocked out or whatever his issues. He's been mistake prone. So they're bringing in those two blokes, and look, I'm not really sure that, I know they'll be prepared properly, but I just think the Sharks have got a bit of momentum. So they're a chance. So I think they're $3.52 to win the game. I think that's great odds.
So you're looking at my notes because I said that the $3 is great value and I'll be taking it. I just think you're exactly right. They're the hot team and they're $3 plus. Ridiculous. I'll say that Melbourne have the best centre pairing at the moment that they've had all year, which is Howarth and Meaney. And I think that's a better centre pairing that they've had for a while.
Warbrick's going to drop the ball 6 times, so we'll get something out of him.
Terrible. I like Stefano up against Adam Fanua-Blake because Stefano's been playing some really good football the last couple of months. So a good young kid coming through. I like to see.
Their pack's huge.
Yeah, it's good to see him actually. He'll have a good go at Fanua-Blake. But I agree with you, and I do think momentum is really important in rugby league. Sharks have it all. They've got the confidence. The Storm just have the ability to win, and I think that will be. I think Coates. They will be kicking the crap out of the ball to Coates against Katoa, and Katoa's not a big winger, so they'll need to be able to combat that because Coates will be all over it, and I think that needs to be a concern. I'm sure they're training for it all week, but I don't think they'll make the mistake that they did against the Dogs by not kicking to him at all.
Agreed. That was very clear. If I'm going to give you a tip this week, I'm tipping with my heart. I'm going the Sharks.
No, I'd go purely from an odds point of view. $3 plus is ridiculous odds for the Sharks, so I agree. The Sunday game, as we've already mentioned, Broncos-Panthers. Sunday afternoon, it'll be a fantastic atmosphere up there in Brisbane. Panthers will be tough. Broncos, they're playing better defensively than they have all year. I like the toughness they showed against the Raiders. They got some big ins with Reynolds coming back and Ezra Mann. I really like what the Broncos centres bring against Penrith. But they need to be Brisbane will need to be perfect, and I don't know if they can.
Yeah, my little bit of an issue with that is that they're playing Reynolds and Hunt in 7 and 5/8.
Yeah.
They got Ezra on the bench.
Yep.
I've been thinking that the Broncos' shape's been a lot better since Hunt I know Walters has done his ACL and he's out, but I thought they looked a lot better with that combination. So I don't know what we're going to see in attack with the Broncos. Whether that, I know Reynolds has got the kicking game, but he's also broken 90% of the time.
Yeah,
so I can't believe they signed him again. But that's my question mark on them. And then my other question mark on them's toilet water. Walshy, whether he's going to be rocks or diamonds. So that's the game for me, is how they adapt in the halves, and how Walshy goes with his hero plays, and whether he's on or he's off.
Penrith will be clinical, and in my opinion, their defence will pressure him a lot, and I think that will force errors. But Penrith need to be better than they were against the Dogs, in the sense that they're going to come up against a better team that will throw more at them. And I am concerned about the defence around the centres of Penrith when you saw what the centres of Brisbane can do.
Yeah, well, Stagg's a freak.
He's a freak, and he's been playing
aggressive.
Great. And he's been playing well. But I'll be betting on the game, and I will be betting I'll actually probably have a same game multi on both teams at different variations, because I think it's almost impossible. But I would probably go Brisbane. And I know they're paying more odds, but I just think Brisbane at home after a week off. Penrith have been very good, but I think it's Brisbane's time.
Agreed, but the only point I'll make is that if they don't play for 80 minutes, they'll get beat.
Yep, I agree with that.
And if they come out slow, like they did against the Raiders,
yep,
there won't be a 10-minute period in the middle of the game where they can
come back.
put on 18 points and come back into the game. That won't happen. But I tend to agree with you. I'd probably go to the Broncos, but geez, there's not much between them.
No, there's not. It's really looking forward to it. Okay, we're going to do an end of season review on starting with. Well, we've done it for the bottom 8, but it's basically the teams that are already out in the finals, starting with the Roosters with 13 wins, 11 losses.
So what went wrong? Slow start in young players, and it's a building year. That's what my thoughts on the Roosters were this year.
Yeah, it is a building year. I think they. I never understood the signing of Chad Townsend.
No, that was an error.
Yeah, it was.
I never understood the Brandon Smith signing either.
Yeah, but that's like when they tried to sign David Fafita. I don't know. Their recruitment of late has been a bit of a funny one. But Chad Townsend was brought in just to fill while Sam Walker was injured. But unfortunately, he's not that good anymore. Like, he's not. He's slower.
He's 1,000.
And they struggled. And then when they changed
But even with the winger from Newcastle that came in, spent a year, Dom Young, and then he's back up in Newcastle. Yeah. Like they weren't paying him big bucks, and he's gone back to Newcastle, and they're still paying him. So their recruitment's been.
Well, then that's what goes wrong. Then their recruitment hasn't been spot on, but they've still found some very good players. Robert Toyer is an outstanding player. Obviously, we speak about Marky Mark every week.
Yeah.
Smith, their 5'8" halfback, has gone to Newcastle. I thought he was very good. What they've got to do next year, obviously, they're bringing in DCE. I don't know. I'm yet to be convinced on that. They've found some very good forwards.
Yeah, but DCE hasn't signed yet, so who knows what's going on with that?
If he's
know what I reckon he'll do? He'll wait for the couple of days before the grand final to get his 10 seconds of. Like, I honestly think he's a massive media hound.
So, yeah.
What went right for me was their defence and the young blokes, Walker and Hugo.
They've got to, if you want them to be better next year, and they always are competitive, they've got to fix their handling and their discipline.
Yep. Well, nothing changes until they sort that out.
Yeah, and I think that's a problem. Moving forward for next year, I think it's going to be a challenge for him because Teddy's a year older. And I know I hound on this a lot, but I just think at some point, age catches up to everyone, and he's going to win the Dally M this year. He was that good. But I just think that another year older, I do love how they just keep finding these young players and these players from anywhere, and I think it's fantastic and good on them. So they will be, I reckon they'll be in the top 8 next year, probably around 5th or 6th.
So new players coming in, DCE, which we just mentioned, hasn't signed. Reece Robinson from North Queensland's coming in.
It's a big in.
And players that they're of note that they've lost is Brandon Smith, who's already at Souths. And then what they need to do to keep improving, keep developing, I suppose, and get their handling right. We've discussed that. And where do you think they'll finish next year, Chase?
I said 5th or 6th.
So I'll go at top 8. Yeah. So they'll be in and around there.
All right, we move on then to the Warriors. We've got the Warriors 14 wins, 10 losses. For me, as we've said earlier, they should be in the game this week because they were crippled with devastating injuries to key players, including their halfback and their State of Origin front rower.
Barnett and Metcalf.
Those two players stay on the field. They're in the games this week. They were out. They were brilliant. They are a very good team. They're a very well coached team, and I think what went wrong was simply injuries. What went right was they showed still heart to play and compete, and they found again the second rower coming through. I can't say his name, but he was brilliant for them. They've got some very good talent there. I think Jet Cleary is coming through their juniors as well.
Yeah.
They've got raps on him, obviously, because of his name, but they do say he can play. I think they're going to be fine. My bet, if Metcalf can come back to full strength with a good knee, this team
That's got to be a worry, though, right?
It has to be. It's about his second or third.
Yeah. But he was at the Sharks. From what I understand, that's why the Sharks let him go, because he's got injuries with his knees. So, but if they keep him and Barnett's fine and they don't lose 400 forwards like they did this year, they'll be fine. They don't have they don't have new players coming in. They're keeping their roster pretty much their improvement is not have injuries. We've talked about that with other teams, and they'll be in and around the 8, if not 4. But not everyone can make the 4.
Yeah, I know, but my bet is top 4.
Yeah,
they're too good, and that home field advantage for them is really big. So,
and it's a trip down there.
It's a trip, but they get a massive turnout. Crowds behind them. Everyone loves the Wars, mate. So yeah,
I'm a fan.
yeah. All right, we move on to the Dogs. 16 wins, 8 losses. Well, I mean, they were flying high. Those 8 losses, I think most of them came in the last 2 months. They were very good until they weren't really. They just lost their identity.
I had destabilisation was what went wrong.
Yeah.
And probably hubris by Shirado and Gould. That was not necessary at all.
I completely agree. I don't understand why you would do that to a team. And I know there is talk about they had only beaten no ones and they were always concerned about their attack. Yes, fine. But their defence was good.
Yeah.
And then you go into the last 2 months of football and their defence was terrible. They were awful. Absolutely shocking. So I think that what went right for them was that they obviously have good players. They have Steve Crichton, who is probably one of the best players in the game at the moment, who really developed, particularly as a leader. They have some very good players that are there. What went wrong? The destabilisation, but I think that their forward pack got shown up as being too lightweight.
Yep.
And they need to address that urgently come the off season, because teams will just run over them, and I think next year they'll have a target on their back.
Agreed. They got Leo Thompson coming in. I think he's from the Knights. Is that right?
Yeah, big money.
I don't understand it.
800,000 a year they're paying him.
Losing Reed and Sexton. What they need to do is sort out their spine, get a bigger pack, not miss so many tackles when it matters.
Yeah.
All that. Look, I'm going to say something controversial here. I don't think they'll make the 8 next year.
I think that I just think Steve Crichton is such a good player in their back line, but I do see why you're saying that. I probably would love to see them miss the 8 and struggle. There is talk that Kalen Ponga could be there next year, but to do that, they're going to have to lose Matt Burton.
Right.
And I think that Matt Burton is a massive part of that team.
I would say they would want Ponga to go play 6 games like he does every year.
It's a big risk.
Mate, seriously.
So
you know who else is going there? The greatest, fastest halfback in the world, Sean Sullivan.
Sean Sullivan. you know what? He could go there and do really well, because they do need a 7. They're talking about there's a kid there, Woods.
Yeah.
Who they got big raps on. They could reckon will be the 7 next year, and Galvin will be 6. I just find it really unusual, though, that Galvin's been named now, being talked about as being a 6.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, everyone said he was a 6, but we put him as a 7. I think they've got no hooker next year. That Hayward is not a hooker that I've seen. And I know he's only young, but I thought he was a better lock. He was good at lock.
Yeah.
Jaden Salmon's not a good lock.
Well, he's too light.
That's why you miss so many tackles.
But I always thought Jaden Salmon was a really good off-the-bench utility player. And then they just the whole thing is, I don't even know what they're doing.
Do you think Ciraldo believes his own hype? As I'm the greatest super coach coming through, I'm the new breed?
I agree. Well, there's plenty of people saying he's a genius, right?
And
Words never said to me.
Or me.
Yeah.
I say it to myself.
Well, someone's got to build you up.
That's right.
Sometimes you can believe your own hype. Now, I do think he will be a good coach at some point, but he's, what is he, 32, something like that?
No, he's older than that, surely.
Is he? Well, he should know better.
But that's what I mean. I think he believes his own hype about how good a coach he is. And that's what I think he's.
Well, I certainly think that Gould believes his own hype.
He's the most.
So if you got 2 of the most arrogant human beings on the planet,
no one pulling them up,
and no one saying this is the dumbest shit I've ever. And basically, they buy utility players and then form a team out of utility players.
And it worked against the average teams, but they come up against the good ones, and they've got 2 forwards on their bench, and they've got 2 utilities, and the forwards are just getting run over. Yeah. It backfired.
Well, the Sharks showed them how you got to play them.
Yeah.
And, and I think South did as well. South weren't a polished rugby league team at the time, but they showed, run at their halves, right? Just keep running, and wear them out. And, you'll make space and they'll miss tackles and the Sharks did exactly the same thing. So my sort of opinion I actually think the Dogs are a rabble.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's going to hurt them this year, because of just how they ended and how their players were treated.
Yeah, and the fact that, fitness only gets you so far.
Yeah.
Right.
So you got to listen to Reid Marnie at the end of that game when they interviewed him, and he said he went there when they were last.
Yeah.
And he's built them at this club that he loves. He captained, and now he's a nobody, and they punted him. I'm thinking that's one player there. Matt Burton is now being told, and look, the Cowboys are circling him. They may take him, but he's definitely on the market for the Perth Bears on big money. And I'm thinking he's one of their best. And I'm mindful, like he didn't have a great final series, some of the missed tackles and stuff, but he was their only attack against Melbourne.
Do you think that Matt Burton was off because of what's going on around him?
I think so. I just think that there's a lot of pressure on him, and he's like, I don't know. I just think it's destabilising when you don't know your role or you don't know your position. And I think it really showed on him.
I totally agree, mate. Absolutely.
So I don't know, mate.
That's why I'm saying I don't think they'll make the 8 next year. I think that the next year's competition is going to be banging.
Yeah, the only thing that convinces me they may make the 8 is just because, I don't know, their draw always seems to be easy. I don't know. And I'm saying that with a laugh, but their draw for the first 20 weeks was laughable. Like they just played anyone who was crap twice.
Yeah.
And then when they got into the home run, they won that one game against Penrith, who rested everybody. And that's their only win.
And they didn't light them up either.
No. So I agree, mate. Yeah. All right. We've spoken enough about them. All right. The Raiders.
I'm really sad for the Raiders.
Yeah.
Like, even though I love my team and I'm very happy for them to be in the qualifying final for the grand final, I really felt sorry for the Raiders.
Yeah, I did too. I wanted to see him there. When I saw Ethan Strange out, I was like, oh, wow, this is going to be tough. And it was.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I agree. But I think the Raiders still should show that, next year they will be very good.
Yep.
They lose Fogarty, but they've got a good other kid coming through. Fogarty's a big loss, but what Ethan Strange showed he could do, I think, will be give him a lot of
That's the issue with him next year, is if this young kid can do the job. But they wouldn't have let Fogarty go if they thought that he wasn't going to be ready. So,
no, and I think he's ready.
And I would have thought, maybe I'm overthinking this, but I would have they would probably thought they would have been playing him this year if they were out of the 8 and they were warming up to that he would have got more game time.
Yeah.
But because and I don't think anyone saw them, win the comp as in win the
minor premiership,
right?
Well, they get Jaden Brayley from Newcastle next year, which is a really interesting signing because they're going to have Brayley, Owen Paddy,
36
and Starling. So I wouldn't be surprised if one of it ends up at halfback. But that's a lot of spark on your bench as well. Like that's good depth to have because I think Brayley still has a lot of footy left in him.
So do you like a backup hooker, on the bench?
I think every team now, if you want to be dead set competitive in the speed of the game, you need a backup hooker.
Well, you need a utility that
Can
is
play hooker.
seamlessly into hooker. Yeah, I agree with that too.
And I really started to notice that with the way the Tigers play. With Appy, just can't play 80 minutes. And I look at even the only one I can see at the moment playing 80, and even now sometimes they still use Tyron Wishart as Melbourne.
Well, our Brayley plays 80 minutes.
Yeah, he's an exceptionally good footy player at the moment.
Geez, you have to be fit to make 60 tackles and, anyway. So my things that went wrong with the Raiders is fade outs. That was their Achilles heel, and it has been for years that
they fade out.
They have, 15 minutes during a game, and it used to be in the second half.
Yeah.
And it was against the Broncos. But normally this year it's been in the first half. They've had 15 minutes where they've taken a holiday. But that's something, and I don't know how you fix that as a coach, how you fix a fade out.
Yeah, well, he hasn't fixed it because they keep doing it. I think they need to be careful next year because teams worked them out.
Oh, they're going to be gunning for them too. So.
And teams worked them out towards the end. Like they just kept attacking their centres, so they need to go in there and fix that.
Yeah.
And I thought Jed Stewart was showing up a bit in the finals. He's not good under the high ball. He dropped a few.
Chris, he
was lit up a few times.
So, but he's getting old too.
Yeah, so they need to fix it, and I'm sure they got depth, and we saw some of their really good players get blooded.
So what went right? I think everything went right apart from 15 minutes against the Broncos, and then
it's a big wrong.
Yeah, that's their Achilles heel there. That and then they got up against the Sharks, and they just didn't have the heart to follow through with it. Coming in plays, you mentioned Brayley, Fogarty's going. what they need to do improve. We've got to sort that halfback out and fade outs, and I think they'll make the top 8 next year. So
yeah, I think they'll make the top 8. They'll be fit. They'll be ready to go again. And I think this will hurt them in a good way. They'll have a chip on their shoulder next year.
Yeah, I agree.
Which is
totally.
Good. All right. So let's recap some of our multis. How did your multis go, Dave?
They were all shit. What else is new? So I had Weeks anytime. He did nothing. Iro scored, and I had Raiders head-to-head, so that got beat. And then my other one was Casey McLean anytime. He didn't do shit. Jacob Carraz didn't do anything, and Panthers head-to-head, that got up. So, pretty ordinary from me.
Yeah, my multi actually got canned. I had the same game, which was I needed Ethan Strange to score.
Well, that's a win as far as I'm concerned.
So I got my money back, so I was happy with that. And I didn't do a multi, as we know. Let's go horse tips.
Horse tips.
How did you go?
Okay, so my first one at Caulfield, which was the race 8, I had another wheel. I'm pretty sure that donkey's still running.
I did see him still
I think
doing
they
laps.
Josh told me today that went straight down to the paddock. Karen Ma said, listen.
It was bad. And it's a good horse, but it was bad.
Well, it jumped last and it stayed there.
Consistency is what we're after.
That's what we're after. And then, at Randwick Race 8, the Dave and Jason Cup, I had Fangirl and you had Jace?
CO Wolf.
CO Wolf, and Fangirl beat it by a lip.
No, CO Wolf came third.
Oh, didn't it?
Yeah. Lindemann came second.
I thought your one. Anyway, so mine won, and I'm the greatest tipster in the world, and
And
it paid $2.60. So Jason will bag that because it's
So,
low
no,
odds.
it paid $1.95.
No, when I backed it, it was $2.60.
$2.60.
Yeah.
So you can buy a can of Coke with that. That's good.
No,
Did well.
I had a good. Oh yes, okay. All right. Well, what did you have, Jace?
So mine too, obviously I had CO Wolf, which came third, paid, I don't know what it paid for third. It was paying, I think, $7 in the race. So I didn't look at each way because you don't bet to lose.
No.
But then my other one was Birdman. Race, what was it, wherever race was. Race, I don't know what race it was, but it won. Paid $7.
You know what kills me?
It won.
No, I'm happy that it won.
No, you're not.
No, I don't. I'm not like that.
You should be because it paid far more than
I'll
yours.
tell you what it really upsets me. I backed every single thing that we put on this podcast last week, except for Birdman. I missed it.
How did you miss it?
I don't know, man. There's a lot going on in this brain, and it's not coherent at the moment.
It was awesome.
You saw my operating the podcast machine today. It was
awful.
It was not great, Chase.
I was stoked. I tipped it when it was $7 when I tipped it with Karen McAvoy on there and won by a lip. God bless it.
Oh, good on it. Well, usually if I was on it, it'd get beat by three heads. So, my tip for the week, Randwick Race 6, number 4, is it Maruda?
Okay.
Mahuna?
Yeah.
Tommy Berry's the jockey and Michael Friedman's the trainer at $3.30. And Sandown Race 7, number 2, Rise at Dawn. It's a Hayes horse at $6.
So I'm in that same race.
Oh, awesome. Let's race them.
Definitely not yours. Melbourne Race 7, number 8, Coat Antique, I think it is, or Atlantique, sorry. Coat Atlantique at $10. I watched its last run and it ran home pretty well.
Yeah.
Bit of extra distance. I like it. I like what it can do. It's at $10, so have a crack at that. And my other one is, look, when you have a winner with K-Mac, you go back.
Right.
So I've got Sydney Race 5, number 11, Captain Furai, $6 at the moment. Kieran McAvoy aboard, so get on that.
Very good. Bit of NFL stuff for us, Jace, just quickly.
Yeah.
Game of the week this week, Philly and Tampa Bay. So they're both 3-0, so it's on 3 a.m. Monday. I shan't be getting up to watch that.
No, it's a hard slog to get up at that.
And another really good college ball game on Georgia's playing Alabama, and that'll be on ESPN at 9:30.
I think the better game for me, I think it would be LSU and Ole Miss, because LSU's captain is a linebacker. He's got some like far south name, as they do, some weird name, and he's hard launched his relationship this week with the coach of Ole Miss's daughter.
Oh.
So Lane Kiffin's a coach, and he's hard launched the relationship with his daughter. So now the two teams are playing each other. And you talk about rivalries. So Ole Miss and LSU, they do not like each other.
So is that no? It's not Death Valley, LSU.
Yeah, LSU's Death Valley.
Is it at LSU?
I don't know where it's at, but I can tell you.
Sorry, you didn't do your research. I get it.
I know. I couldn't even remember his name. It's some weird name.
Okay.
But yeah, so that'll be a great.
He's a linebacker, so no one gives a shit. So, so last week's my NFL multi was head-to-head Pats, Eagles, Bucks, and the Pats decided to be the Tigers of the NFL. Not as bad as my team.
Yeah, good. Glad you clarified that.
And my multi this week is Steelers, Texans, Chargers against the Giants, and anytime touchdown Barkley.
Okay, yeah, Barkley.
For $6.38.
All right. I
didn't do one.
Yeah, no, I have. I've only done it though. It's not. Yeah, it's a bit of a different one. I actually took a different take. I've gone just 2 touchdown scorers. So one on Friday and one on Monday. So in the Seattle game, I've gone Jackson Smith Najigba into Quinton Johnson for the Chargers on the Monday, paying $10.
I like that.
Yeah, I just thought they're both of them are wide receivers. Both of them get a lot of ball, particularly at the moment. So I think that, and I think both defenses that they're playing, your lot and Seattle are playing Arizona, and I think that it could be.
I reckon you could get any time on the coach during the Giants game for the Chargers, and he could get a TD.
So yeah, those two. This will all be up on our new Instagram page. So we'll be putting it up there.
I'm a little upset about the Giants.
The Giants are shit.
Yeah, they're worse.
They are the worst team I've ever seen.
I'm going to hold my water, right? For this, there's going to be another Giants rant.
Oh, no,
not today.
Yeah, not today.
In a couple of weeks' time, maybe in the summer sesh.
So I waited till the season was over to bag out and do my rant about the Tigers.
Yeah.
Can't you wait till the season's over?
Well, it might be weekly here, the way they're playing.
All right, so moving on to the other multis, the NRL one. I've got the same game. I've gone the Sharks Storm. So I've gone Coates and Molitano anytime, and the Sharks plus 9.5. Plus 9.5. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
$6 that's paying. So Coates to score, Molitano to score.
What's that? $1.90?
I just said $6.
No, the 9 plus for the Sharks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might take that just for.
And I've got another one, so just sit tight.
Do you think?
Broncos Panthers. I've gone
aggressive.
Stags and Papali anytime. $10.
Oh, very good.
Stags and Papali.
So I've gone Panthers head to head. All right, anytime Karapani.
Yeah.
And anytime McLean. You know I'm a big McLean fan. That's $5.75. And then I've gone out on a limb here on this one. So I've got Sharks head to head. Anytime for Fanua Blake. Anytime Coates. And that's paying $24.75.
You'll need to send me that because I'll put it up on Instagram.
Yeah, you can get the audio. I'll send it to you.
Just text me the bets, mate.
I'm not doing that. What? I'll give you the piece of paper.
Fine. God, you're a
Do we have to have a domestic on there?
You're just a punish. Like, you make it hard.
I make everything hard.
Yeah. All right. And I've got another multi. So a different, like a multi. You know, you've gone your head-to-head. I don't do head-to-head. I hate it. It's boring.
Okay.
So I've gone Cleary 6+ points into Stags and Shibasaki, 1 try between them at $2.25.
Mm-hmm.
Into Hines plus 6 points. Iro Ramian, 1 try between them. Molitano Katoa, 1 try between them. $10.29.
You're very proud of yourself.
I am. I'm really proud of that multi.
You should see your face right now.
I'm so happy with that multi.
You're like Picasso. You're going to go and look at this painting.
I am. I just think it's a really good one. You know when you bet and you're just so confident that you're going to win.
Yeah.
And then you don't. And you're so sad. But at the moment, I'm confident. Of course you back up.
Just back up.
You ain't quit. What are you?
Soft.
So that's the multis.
You know what's left, Jace?
The rant. I'll let you go first.
Oh, what's yours first?
Mine. As I mentioned it earlier, it was Brent Reid and to even Phil Gould and Channel 9.
This might be a joint rant.
Well, they just gloss over the implosion of the Bulldogs. Now, Michael Chalmers went on Channel 9 and called out Phil Gould, and Phil Gould condescendingly called him boy, and he's had not been back on that show that I've seen because it's like you can't challenge him. Gould, that is. You can't say, mate, can you explain this? What happened here? There. And it's like they just say, oh, don't look over here. We're not allowed to look over here. and they do not allow anyone to do so. Like, it is so obvious that this team imploded because of management and coaching, and no one's allowed to call them out for it.
Yeah.
And Brent Reed sits there and they talk about it. Like, I love NRL 360 because they actually do call them out. You watch Buzz go at it, and Braith is great, and they call them out for how it is. And that's the way it should be. There's integrity in that, whether they're your mate or you're not, but call it out. Because what this team has done is implode, and they should be called out for it because it's a news story. It's newsworthy. They stole a player from the team. I say stole, and I know it's a harsh word, but
I would say manipulated.
That's a better word because they did. They manipulated a situation and got a very good Tigers player from a team that gets kicked week in, week out, and they took him and they put him in the team and then turned around and said, oh, no, we didn't do it for this year. It's going to be for 5 years' time because, he's going to be that good for us. What a load of shit.
Yeah.
Like, they absolutely destroyed the inner workings of their own team because they thought they could make this play on someone and no one's allowed to call them out for it.
Agreed.
And I find that disgusting.
I've got a couple of, because we're on this rant is exactly the same. We are. My rant's about Gould.
Yep.
Right. So he's claiming that it suits the media narrative to describe it the way that we have, right? That it was sabotage to their team, right? And he hasn't heard it from any of the players or the coaches within his organisation, right? We're delighted to have him on his books. This is genital warts.
Genital warts,
Sorry.
that I hope he has.
We took the opportunity when it arose and he came out of the blue. Bullshit.
Bullshit.
Right? So if you're going to lie, be good at it. We didn't know what was going to happen at the time, but we made a decision that we wanted him in our club, and that was what we did. Now that's led to a media barrage. It's not the reason why there's a media barrage, right? And all this is just weasel bullshit, right? Is because it was at the expense of another club due manipulation from the manager and the son, the father of Galvin, as well as Galvin saying he was getting bullied.
Yep.
And they used the legal system to threaten the Tigers to get him out of the joint. Yep. Oh, well, they stood him down and put him in reserve grade. That was the worst thing they could have done, except, give him 1 week, he plays terrible, then you're off to a reserve grade. They could have played the game. The Tigers were a bit reactive, but I actually agree with it. And I've said to you before, I would have put him in reserve grade for 2 years.
So would I.
He goes, a lot of that's been childish and extremely unfair. But as I say to the boys, welcome to the Bulldogs. Bulldogs don't put up with any bullshit, really. Like they've been out of the 8 and not really been figuring in competitions for a fairly long time. It's not unique to the Bulldogs getting criticised for making decisions. No. All clubs do.
The Bulldogs have never been, as far as I know, have been never criticised because they've always been known as a tight-knit family club. They always have had that that aura about them, right?
Yeah.
And
when Billy Moore was there.
Yeah, but also even too the old dogs of war they talk about. I know from old days, but when they won the comp and they breached the cap and then they came back and they still won the comp. They were this tough team. They've made grand finals when no one thought they would.
Yeah.
They are a very well-run club.
Well, they haven't they weren't. In recent times, they haven't been. They're a better run club now.
Yeah, they were because Hasler put their salary cap
into orbit.
Yeah. And they've come back from that. The thing is that when you have someone like Reid Marnie and Burton, who are senior players in your club that have been there for the shit times and now there for the good times, are basically on the verge of being moved on, and Phil Gould turns around and says, well, I'm not hearing this from the players. It's like some of your benchmark players, some of your high profile players are being moved on. What do you want them to say? And other players aren't going to speak up and say, oh, we don't agree with this. And the coaches are part of it. They're not going to fucking speak up.
No. Well,
who does he expect to speak
Because
up?
you won't be there next week. Well, that's just shit.
It's
like working for me and saying my decision's wrong. I don't care.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm paying the bills, so you just do what I tell you to do.
It's ridiculous.
he talks about Galvin. He goes, the boy was outstanding yesterday in a badly beaten side. I thought he really showed his class, and he's a real player of the future. That's crap.
What game did he watch?
I don't know what he was watching.
It was a replay from like his junior days.
And we bought him here for the player he's going to be, not the player he is at the moment. Why put him in reserve grade?
Then buy him when he's available in a few years' time. You buy him now and go, let's put him at halfback.
So he goes here, I thought he did outstandingly well coming in, and when he did play as many games as he did for us under pressure, and he'd never played halfback before. So
that's ridiculous.
Mate, that is so you sacked an above average halfback, right, to bring in a person that's never played halfback before and expect him to perform.
Yeah.
That's great management.
Yeah.
He's never played halfback at any junior football whatsoever, so we've asked, it was a big ask for him, and I think he's done an outstanding job. Signing Galvin wasn't our only point of contention in the up and down season of the Bulldogs, and with the decision to drop Reid Marnie and along with Toby Sexton, and also was a bold one, right? So this is some commentary. And then they've asked him, did that detract from sacking or getting rid of Mahoney, Reid and Sexton? Was that getting in the way of a winning formula? And he goes, we don't need to discuss that publicly, right? If you go back and have a look at the draw after round 15, we led the competition, right? And they've gone, yeah, but you played Titans twice, Para twice, and George twice, South twice, and you had no big games. You had all your big games at the back end of the season, right? So they've called him out.
You won one of them against Penrith.
Listen to this crap. He goes, we also had a bigger representation in Origin. We had Max King and Kurt Mann play Origin. He had two blokes.
No, and Crichton.
And Crichton.
So you had three.
So three. So other fellas fell into the camp. So it was a disruptive period that we haven't experienced in a number of years. So then he blamed Origin. This is the clown.
The guy is a clown.
He is. So then I don't want to talk about Toby and Reid because they've been wonderful at the club and great, but I don't want to go into talking about it publicly. So I don't want to be held accountable.
It's laughable.
Yeah. One thing I know is the coaches like to win and they pick teams on the day to win. This is my point, right? He is an idiot. He did not. You know what? When I make mistakes,
you own them.
I just put my hand up and say, look. And you know what, Mace? If he would have come out and said, hey, look, we botched it, right? We thought we were doing the right thing. It didn't come off what we thought. We apologise to the fans and move on, right?
And to do that, you're not throwing anyone under the bus. You're not saying, look, we thought we tried it. It didn't work out the way we wanted.
Yep.
We're going to learn from it and we're going to build for next year. That's it.
But for me, they put it on the kid.
Yeah. Because they lied. They said he was great for them and he was terrible.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to be nice, but he was.
Yeah, but he's never played halfback before.
But Bailey,
why don't they play you at halfback?
I'd give it a crack.
Yeah. Have you played halfback before?
Oh, in my earlier days.
Well, you would say you know more than him.
But Bailey Hayward was the same. He was terrible at hooker. He was not good. And when he came on the Sunday, you saw that his service is awful.
Yeah, and look, I thought Galvin looks better at 5'8".
Of course, he's a natural 5'8".
Well, no, I think he's a back row, a lock.
Yeah.
But he looked better. He looked freer in 5'8". And they go, we've got this new kid coming through. And so you're going to blood a new kid, right, who's never played NRL before, right? Wow. And he'll get a run next year, et cetera, et cetera. That's why I doubt that they've got a plan, but their plan is, to me, it's just crazy. So they're getting rid of Burton.
Yeah.
Right? Because
that's the talk. That's the talk.
No, but that's what they're doing. They're going to get rid of Burton.
Yeah.
Because they think that Galvin's the future.
Yeah.
Well, I'm seeing Burton throw too many passes out over the sideline and kick the ball in the same spot. Like, it's just, I don't get it.
Burton struggled in some games during the year, and I will admit that, and I think Galvin probably will be a better 5'8", but I think Burton's a better centre. But I do think that Burton's kicking game at times is some of the best kicks you'll see. And Galvin's is not. Galvin is a terrible kicker of the ball.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're doing, mate. it's like they just.
I don't care that they don't know what they're doing. My thing is the arrogance that you don't stand up in front of your fans and say, we got it wrong.
Mate, Phil Gould is one of the most arrogant people you can
Well,
ever
I think
listen to.
Serrano's the same. Like he should have said, look, is there anything you would do differently?
Yeah, we would. We wouldn't do it this way.
Well, you can just say, yeah, there's a few things I think we made mistakes on. The MOD can go.
I'm not going to go into it.
Yeah, blah, blah, blah. But you take some responsibility for your spinning out after the last 6 or 8 weeks of the competition. You just go from second to, in Bali today. Yeah. Right, you've got to take responsibility for your decisions.
If we're saying this, surely players within that club would have to be saying the same thing. Surely they're going, we were going so well, then this kid came along, and then Reed's no longer in first grade. Burton's been moved on. Where do I stand in this club? Surely that is a question some of them would have to be out. If we're saying it, we're on the outside looking at it. Surely some other people would have to look at it as well.
Agreed.
Yeah, righto.
Agreed.
All right.
Did you like that?
I liked it because it was similar thinking.
Yeah.
About time you jumped on board.
We've synced.
About time.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it.
All right, and that's the show. We will be back next week. Again, big thanks to the Bella Vista Hotel for the use of their room. But that's a wrap, folks. Hope you enjoyed it, and let's see you all again next week.
From me, I would like to thank everybody who listens. I really appreciate the little community that we're building with Two Shit Blokes, and I thank you very much. Goodbye, guys. Have a good week.
Don't forget, Instagram. Get on board.